Curtis, and your friend.
Mhm.
You've got waitress service up there. Feel
I
free
dig
to
it.
order anything you'd like, whatever she's serving, whatever you got. So it's your bar. Have a ball. And without further ado, since it's about 7 o'clock, we should get started on today's episode. Like I told you earlier, it's called Previously on the Apocalypse. And when I see those curtains, I know it is time to start the Apocalypse Comedy Show. So if you would, a nice round of applause for Mike Langworthy. I'm your other host, Chuck Roy. And Mike on the left, I'm on the right. And we'll thank our sponsor. Thanks for being cool. That's our sponsor this year, or for this episode. They were so impressed with how we did last year, getting people to wear their mask and to register to vote.
Yep.
They were just like, you know what, this week.
Car with an Afro pick in the back.
Right? Because on occasion, Mike needs to pick out his Afro. So, he supports the big one. And what we'll do is we'll take you on a brief highlight of the show, and then we're going to introduce you to some great comedians, everybody. First, we'll take you over to the Colorado Comedy Show's virtual event center, our writing room. This is where Mike and I write the show. Mike, I noticed what you've got there, my friend. You've got your Golden Globe.
Yeah. I get a little embarrassed sometimes because, as you can see from this,
Not tonight, though.
no, if you could see from this historically, almost uncannily accurate avatar that Chuck has made for me, I'm a very old man who lives in apparently the grave of the Titanic.
Right, and welcome.
Because of having sea worms eating what's left of my brain for the last 108 years, I sometimes forget to leave my awards at home.
And so
I have to take them out fairly frequently because people accuse me of being a hoarder. I say I don't make them give them to me. I just
right.
try to find a place for them in my home.
And I want to just take a moment, Mike, to just welcome Chris, our new customer. He bought a ticket just as we entered the room. And look how fast Gladys got him into the showroom.
She's great. Well, you didn't even tell people how fast she was and why.
Right. Fast and easy is what you need to know.
Right.
Welcome, Chris. You're looking at, I'm Chuck, that's Mike, and we got you into the Colorado Comedy Show's virtual event center. This is where we
like
write
a Wendy's restaurant.
Hi, thanks.
It's easy.
You're, as we told everybody earlier, and you might have missed, you're welcome to leave your microphone on if that helps us hear you laugh. You're welcome to leave your camera on if that helps you enjoy the show. And you can turn those off if those are going to disrupt the show. Other than that, enjoy the show. A ton of comedians and a gorgeous view. Those are the Rocky Mountains just through the window.
Yeah. Pretty gorgeous view in Chris's background too.
That's a virtual
and
background.
It's not blocked by a hideous, I don't even know what it is, kind of blocking hindrance that looks like it's supposed to have a lampshade on it.
So what you're saying is Chris has a
looks
nice
like an
background.
amputee at a party, I'll be honest with you.
You're saying Chris has a nice virtual background and somehow I've got a barrier in the view.
There's a barrier in our writing room, there's a barrier to this beautiful, otherwise.
It's an obstruction.
Looks to be a gorgeous lamp, also award, and fragile, my friend. That happens to be my Kennedy Center Award for innovative teaching. I won that in 2020, unlike your Golden Globe, which comes from a previous century. But
oh yeah,
what can we do?
Right.
What can we do? Mike, I wanted to take the gang. I wanted to take the gang. Remember when we took the group to Graceland and I thought
I do remember. You know what I remember most about it? Every fucking room we went in, there was a Kennedy Center Award sitting on there.
Seemed to be.
I don't know. Maybe this is the Kennedy Center Award. Maybe what this is a Marilyn Monroe impersonator hiding under a lampshade and standing on a giant penny. I don't know.
It could be that, Mike, but it happens to be on occasion Graceland asks to borrow my Kennedy Center awards so they can light the living room. And
As well they should. As well they should. And boy, hey, didn't Elvis have a great sense of style?
yeah, I've never seen peacock windows like that.
No, not quite that way. Not facing, I can only assume is one of bin
Right.
Laden's.
They say during times of peace, the peacocks face inward, and then during times of war, the peacocks face outward. But we had a ball taking our crowd to Graceland, so that's some of the
Right
fun.
now
like,
they're facing the main set from Harem Scarum, his groundbreaking movie about attempting to infiltrate an emir's harem in the Middle East someplace.
right. Well, Mike, remember that time we took everybody to NORAD?
Oh gosh, did I ever?
That was so rad.
Yeah. No, rad. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
I agree,
no,
Mike.
rad.
No, I'm telling
You
you.
know why they call it NORAD, don't you? Because even though they send nuclear missiles from this place and track them from this place, there's no actual radiation in the building. It's not even allowed.
No, which
so-
was, you know how much they block radiation in there? Mike's radiating smile was blocked for the whole
That's
3
true.
fucking years before and after the trip.
For many years, I actually wasn't able to go in there because I can't help but make people smile. As soon as people started to smile, they kept getting kicked out of there.
Yeah.
So
Quite the dandy is what they called you, Mike. And how about that time we took the whole audience to Machu Picchu? That was
that's you know, how would you like to have the lawn mowing concession for Machu Picchu? Huh?
Right.
That's great. I'd love to be able to just go in there with a scythe and just cut that grass down. Of
Yeah,
course,
they
a lot
let
of
us
people don't-
use
a
the
lot of people
riding
think that's
mowers.
grass, but it's actually not grass. It's that is what a coca plant looks like when it's only 3 inches tall.
Which is how we pay for the plane. And we just had such a ball.
So,
in
hey,
Machu
let's
Picchu.
not get into that. Excuse me for interrupting, Chuck, but let's not imply to people that we solicit drugs to bring them into the country in order to pay for a private plane.
No. No, we sell the drug.
What we do is take cargo,
Oh, right.
and we don't ask where the cargo comes from because I think it's rude. It's not because I think we're trying to avoid responsibility.
I forgot. I'm going to ask the sound guy.
A man with an AK-47 comes up to me and he's got a pallet full of $100 bills that have been shrink wrapped, and he wants to take them to the United States. Who am I to say, no, you can't do that? That's what I do. I'm a comedian. I'm not a cop.
Right. Clearly.
You know, if someone has 1,000 bags of flour, that's what he told me it was, not just to take it into the country for him. You know, frankly, I think he's overpaying at the prices he's giving me. Because I'd take it for just regular freight rates, but he keeps giving me, you know, tens of thousands of dollars to carry flour into the country. I keep wanting to tell him, you know, we grow our own wheat in the United States.
Yeah.
You don't need to import it. I mean, I don't even know how you're going to sell it.
No.
You know what he told me? He told me he gets like $400 or $500 a gram for it.
Yeah. You know what,
That's
it was
ridiculous.
weird.
Must
You
be
know how much
whole
a
wheat.
cupcake would cost with that flour?
Yeah. That stuff smelled funny.
Yes, it did.
Mike.
I had to take a deep breath just
Mike.
to get it out of my system.
If we're doing cocaine jokes, we must be in the middle of a comedy show.
Oh, what?
And
Now
then
suddenly they're cocaine jokes. All right, great, fine.
that feels really good.
I guess it's time for us to blow then, huh? Is that what you're saying?
Hello!
Oh,
Hello!
Mike
World's
brings it
finger
home.
pistols, moon walks out of frame.
You got a good snort out of that one, my friend.
Mike, you dropped
Hey,
your
let's
mic.
crack open some jokes, shall we?
Yeah. I'm going to pay you with a virtual rolled up $100 bill. Several
great.
of them.
That's great.
Mike,
Yes. Speaking of sucking glass dicks.
We have a wonderful crowd. People who are laughing.
Were we?
And Jacob Jonas is here. Our
Oh my
headliner.
God.
I hear his wonderful laugh, and that just it's one of those things that makes me feel human. And one of the people who makes us laugh, Mike, we got to know each other at Mega Mike, our show. That remember when people did shows at a place?
No.
That was fun. Gosh, I really enjoyed that. We would go to places, they would have alcohol, a microphone, and we would introduce people to great comedians. And we're trying to repeat that here tonight. We met a really funny comedian. Her name is, and we're going to introduce her to our crowd here tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, a regular on our show in Denver, back when people could be in the same room. And always a joy to invite here on the ApocaLips and ask to entertain you. Would you please give a nice round of applause to Lisa Lane, everybody?
Yeah.
Lisa Lane.
Miss you guys in person back in the days when we could swap spit and share all the germs together. Seems like 100 years ago, doesn't it? All right, you guys, Happy New Year, everybody. Seriously.
Happy New Year.
Hard times, you got to admit, but this is my New Year's resolution. I'd like you all to join me. I am going to dedicate myself this year. I'm not going to get bitter. So many reasons to get bitter. I'm going to get better. Okay. We can all do that. Can't we? Join me. All right. I know I can get better. I know that one of these days I'm going to remember I no longer have to apply lipstick before going out in public because the mask covers it, right? Keep forgetting. So I can do it. That is now my retirement plan, the money that I'm going to save on lipstick, because, losing all our work in the apocalypse. So it's good financial planning. I know I can get better about that whole mask thing. You know what? I decided to enjoy it because the masks, it lets me be a lot lazier about my chin hair game. I don't none of you do people, but my age, I mean, they come in, it's like a ninja attack on my face, is what I'm saying. Honestly, you wasn't there yesterday. I promise. I look at, this is half our lives now, right? Looking at the wrinkles and the chin hairs on Zoom, painful. I promise I keep track of them, but you'll be driving along and then you catch a glimpse in the rear view mirror of this glistening whisker. Where was it? Wasn't it yesterday? They grow so long. What is the minimum for locks of love? Because I think I could be a therapist, all right? Couple of times a week, I could donate chin hairs to, help kids who need wigs. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get better. Oh, I love the mask culture, you guys. It's been a hot minute since a strange man in public has told me how much prettier I'd be if I smiled. Love the mask. I know I can get better. I am going to remember one of these days that I am going to wear my Apple Watch every time I go for my long walks. I keep forgetting to wear it. And then my watch just shames me all day long. Tells me, you got to get up on your steps. You got to do it. So I can get better. I'm going to remember every time to wear it. It's been hard, right? It's been hard. It's been hard for women like me. There are no managers to speak to. Rough times. What am I supposed to do? No, I'm kidding. I hate people look at me and think I'm a Karen. Impossible. All right. Listen, if I see a black man and like his dog in a park, I am never going to call the cops on that guy. I am 100% going to try to hit that. Okay. I cannot be a Karen. You guys, 75% of the men I bang are black. Okay.
True.
Black men matter. I'm just saying. I know. I'm not stupid. But here's the thing. 25%, the other 25% of the men I bang, first responders. It's been hard for me. I love both sides. What am I supposed to do about that?
Good.
Yeah. You guys, you understand it. The first responders. I mean, first of all, they've got those uniforms, kind of like have a job. And that's ours pretty low. Online dating. But also first responders, there's a lot of talk about hoses and handcuffs, and I'm interested in that. Yeah. I never really understood why they were attracted to me, those first responders, but now I get it. I seem like the kind of girl who is gonna maybe light something on fire, and they need to respond to that. That's true. Yeah. Anybody else been dating in the apocalypse? It's easy to get bitter. The worst part of it to me has been that all the getting to know them, all the conversation. Okay. Because in the before times, I could slut it around as much as I wanted. Now we're shutting down the slut. It's a slut down. It's been a slut down for me. talk to these boys. You understand? It's hideous. Do you guys know your love language? Have you taken that love language test? It's something that middle-aged divorced ladies do a lot to learn about ourselves. And my love language is words of affirmation. It makes sense, right? We're all wordsmiths here. And after being married for 22 years to kind of a Neanderthal redneck from South Dakota, there were no words at all. There were no words at all. So words of affirmation is how I receive love. But here's what I have also discovered during the pandemic. I've been taking the wrong test. That's my love language. My dick language is acts of service. Followed closely by physical touch. Yeah, it's been hideous. There's a lot of men, it turns out, can hold erections, but they can't hold conversations. It really is. And I hate that. I hate the getting to know them. I'm only getting to know them. We're like 14 years old. Do you like to, can you sing? I asked this guy on the phone, can you sing? He's, yeah, I'm a good singer. I'm like, oh, I really admire that. I'm coming up with topics. Can you draw? Are you a good artist? He says, yeah, I can draw. I was like, oh, I really admire that too. Something I can't do. While we're talking, he sends me a picture of this drawing he did. Okay. And I was like, oh, it's terrible. It's not good. So I asked him, when did you do it? Thinking if it was like something from 8th grade art class and somebody told him it was good, we could forgive it. No. It's like a year ago. Like, you took out pen and paper a year ago and you made this hideous thing. Turns out I do not know what to do with a bad art pick. It's way worse than a bad dick pic. I know what to do with that. Painful. Yeah. Yeah, getting to know them. It's just, the other thing is that I realized in this online dating world, getting to know you using all the words men have to describe themselves. I get it. They're not naturally good at that. But I started to fear that maybe I didn't know what words meant anymore. And then I just realized, thanks to my ex-husband, I have a built-in man translator now. So for example, on the dating apps, if a man describes himself as super chill, super laid back, I get it now. I run it through the translator and I know, all right, you are a guy who gets so angry at other drivers in traffic that I'm going to fear for my life. Laid back. Okay, I get it. You're the kind of guy who's going to freak out if I don't have the right kind of hand soap in the kitchen sink. Laid back. All right, I know it. The translator helps. When a guy says that he's a social drinker, casual drinker, translator, raging alcoholic. I get it. Okay. Oh, the men who say with their words that they are attracted to loud, funny, confident women. Translator, you have a very complicated relationship with your mother, don't you? Yeah. But I'm not going to get bitter. I'm going to get better, you guys. My goal during the new year now, I'm going to get better. I'm going to give myself the task of watching porn. I don't watch porn. I don't see the point of it. It gives me fear of missing out. They seem to be having so much more fun than I am. And also it's like I feel about cooking shows. Like, it looks fun, but I'd have to learn a bunch of stuff and practice and go get a bunch of equipment. I don't watch porn, but I'm going to try. I understand that is the way during the shutdown. The thing is that before the shutdown, it's like, I think I was living a porn. I mean, you guys tell me, you know porn. I bang 90% of the handyman who come over to my house. That's a porn. I think that's a porn thing. I think it is. And then you tell me, I think I'm inventing stuff. I did kind of date during the shutdown and we had our little reopening. I learned something wonderful. I dated a really fat man. Okay. Highly recommend. I'm not talking a dad bod. I'm not talking a few extra pounds. I am talking a guy who is just like one slice of peach pie away from lap band surgery. Okay. Try it. I recommend it. First of all, he will feed you. A fat man will feed you. Food just magically appears. You will never miss a meal. Doesn't matter if I'm too tired to cook, too stressed to eat, too resentful from 22 years of cooking for a family who didn't appreciate me, whatever it may be, a fat man will feed you. Food appears. It's like he has magical powers and I think a VIP DoorDash subscription. So a fat man will free you. I literally will never have to wear Spanx again with this new plan. He has no room to judge any of my jiggle. And he won't. He looks at me like a work of art. He will never look at me the way he looks at a hot fudge sundae, but that's his first love. That's just fact. You forgive it. Also, when I need alone time, a fat man is very easy to distract. I just have to wave a plate of ribs and he just follows it. He's like a cartoon character, lifts up off the ground like a cartoon hobo after a pie. Yeah. And then a fat man's body is like an apparatus to me. It's like a jungle gym for me to climb around on. And I mean, come on, I was a little gymnast. This is fun for me. I've realized things like, well, okay, first of all, it could be hard to find. It could be hard to find his junk. It can be hard to find the goods. You got to do some hoisting and lifting and sort of some excavating and get down to it. But once you do, he's so grateful. I mean, he hasn't seen it for a while. So you can describe it to him. It's like telling him bedtime stories describing his beautiful penis. And then you got to be creative about how you get on it. So reverse cowgirl comes into play a lot, which is awesome because you can't see my chin hairs or any of this waddle. When we just see in my back, it's a good view. And then get this, I lean back over his giant belly. It's like an exercise ball to me. So I am just like that, opening my heart chakra, doing my yoga while I'm getting served. Did I invent a porn move or is that a thing? You tell me. You guys know it. Either way, we're not gonna get bitter. We're gonna get better. We can keep getting better. Happy New Year, guys. Thanks for having me on. I'm Lisa Lane.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Lisa Lane.
Hey, Lisa was talking about love language, and I don't know if this qualifies. I don't really have a love language because I think my active sex life predates the term love language.
But you don't love anything.
No, I'm just
No
saying.
love in your heart.
It predates language, Mike.
Oh,
That explains why my safe word's in Aramaic.
Ouch.
He played right into that. And she talks about hoses and handcuffs, which, by the way, was my first favorite comedy team.
Right.
Even before Abbott and Costello, I loved hoses and handcuffs.
Right. I'm going to wrap up this show early so I can go get ribs.
thought you'd like that, Chuck. It's
Right. I just thought you were so right. I'm now I want ribs. Thank you very much. Another round of applause for Lisa Lane, everybody. Just telling the truth out there. All right, gang. We sometimes have the power to use our time machine and go way back in time and meet some of Mike's friends from his first days in comedy. Mike, remember 30,000 BC when you used to do gigs with Oog, son of Og? Well, we got him here live for you today, everybody. Please, a nice round of applause for Oog, son of Og.
Yay.
Yeah, Oog from Og. Let's go for it. Oog. Oog.
I don't know. I'm done. I'm ready to. Under the bed, don't have under the bed, under the bed, under the I'm gonna under me go and the bed, under the bed, oh, I'm in the bed, in the bed, under the Hulba, under the bed, the many with the gata, and the me get the horn, and the honeyberry. You can do it. Who did me to go to it? Gada Gundugo, ho, ho, I don't remember that. Gundugo. Oh, country. Oh, hundred gauge. Oh, country. Oh, how does I don't know, jumping in the 100 ever. Under Canada, Hyanda. Hallelujah, Jaga, Heda, Ho. Under Bunda, Hudaga, oh, yeah. Under the Bindem, the Banda. The kind of jumper. Oh, undermined. Can't you better? Hey, did you bunch again? Oh, can't you jump on butter? Oh, no, butter. Oh, no, butter. Oh, no, butter. And the get him in the KGB, and the men the better, hundred Zundababa, Hegandaba, Hunze Dodaba, Heganded, ha, Hadigamadaga. Oh, and the men the Kachaba, anybody. And the men, and the man, Handanda Gundida de Beda, Hundida Bende, Hundida Bende, and you made it, oh, I made it, no, I did it, oh, do that, I heard it, oh, Hundida Mende, Dembe, Hunde, Candida Jumbundo, oh, Hunde Kachida Banda Dumbo, 100 먼저, 100 먼저.100 먼저. 100 먼저. 하하하. 그래. Okay. 100 베제. 100 베제. 100 베제. 호. 안 매매. 오, 플리. 오, 저다. 100 베제 게제. 안전지변제 게제 호 간지자 본제 허리면 간지자 뭐 허리면 안전변제 플리플리플리플리 안전변제 고다 오 간지제문다 호 하면지 그래 안전변제 미 혼자겐데 현재 오늘은 배주를 봐 아닌데 간다 좋습니다 언제든지 언제든지 오 플리플리플리플리플리 오늘 흘려봐자 언제든지 배제 흘리다 남 받아봐 간다 hunde gande hilde balga hilde hunde gande hunde dumbalu hunde gande da da hunde de bada hunde de gadon da dum da din da hunde de da bande de golde hunde hunde gande bada
Ladies and gentlemen, Oog, son of a hog. Oh,
I have
Mike.
no words.
What kind of damage did Og do to Oog to make him be like this? That's all I want to know.
There are no words for that act right now.
Speechless.
That is absolutely one of my favorite bookings from last year, and thank you for coming back. Oog, son of a hog.
Thank God for that glacier melting, huh?
Oh, danda banda.
We never would have known he existed if it hadn't been for that.
Hi, Mike. We met some fun friends through your show on Monday nights and invited them here to the ApocaLips on Sundays. And one of our favorites throughout the year was just witty and super nice. And I'm glad to invite her back. Would you please welcome everybody? Gini Sikes is here tonight. Welcome, Gini, everyone.
Sorry, it's just stuck in my head now.
Mine too. I'm so happy to be spending time with people who've been locked up alone. Yeah, because I've been locked up alone, and you guys look trapped in these tiny boxes, so you won't leave me. I finally got a captive audience. So I just had a birthday. Yeah, typically I have one each year. And my neighbor said, "Happy birthday and many more." And I was like, no more than 10. Thanks. I can't take any more. When it comes to my life, I don't care about quantity. I want quality. And if there isn't quality, I'm out. And this isn't coming from despair. This is coming from, I enjoy not shitting myself. So I'm okay with 10 more years, or frankly, 5 more minutes. So I woke up on my birthday and I thought, it's too late. I will never get a parrot. I love parrots, but I'm never going to hear "Bawk, Polly, want a cracker?" Not the most meaningful utterance, but this is a bird talking, something only the human species can do. Not impressed? You try flying. But now I'm too old because parrots can live 60 years. I have to face facts. I've aged out of exotic birds. By the time it grows up, I'll be I'll be down 6 feet.
Yeah.
Holly, want a casket? So I'm an odd bird. My mom said that as a kid, I liked to play by myself, which explains why I relate to inanimate objects. Now that sounds a little weird, but if you pass by a garbage can and you see a kid's teddy bear, don't you kind of go, oh? Well, when I was a kid, I was very fond of a small boxed record player, and my mom stuck it in the junk closet. I used to peek in at night. Good night, Boxy. I named it Boxy. I worried it was lonely. Wait, that was me. I hid in the closet with Boxy because I was lonely. Well, until I was 15, and then I found my best friend, Sparky, my vibrator. Technically my mother's vibrator, because she put a lot of stuff in that closet. But honestly, as an adult, I'm like Tom Hanks in the movie Castaway. If you don't remember, he's on an island and his only friend is this really cute volleyball he calls Wilson. When Wilson drifted off to sea, I cried like a baby. When I saw Titanic and Rose lost Jack to the sea, I cried for wasting 3 hours of my life.
Yeah.
So I'm a crime reporter and I know a little bit about the law, and I'm always amazed at the laws that are passed that are batshit crazy. Did you know in 25 countries, it's illegal to kill yourself? Well, I'll never live in those countries. You break that law, what are the cops going to do?
Yeah.
Ticket your corpse? Big whoop, it's a non-moving violation. And if you attempt suicide, but the cops save you, they take you not to the hospital, to prison, where you'll want to hang yourself. And the inmates will help. It's a punishment worse than death. This is the worst suicide prevention law ever. Here's another one. In Poland, they passed a child protection law. Nobody can go into a playground if they're wearing a shirt with Winnie the Pooh, the little yellow bear. The reason they said was because Pooh has no pants. Okay, something else Pooh doesn't have? Shoes, a hat, a dick. Pooh can't flash you. Silly old bear. He can't moon you. Yeah, he can't moon you, no crack. Okay, I'm not sure what's stranger, Pooh having no crack or that I checked.
Yeah.
I'll leave you with something that's just annoying. When somebody says to you, oh, you know me, but you don't. I was walking down the street, I saw a neighbor and I was like, hey, how's it going? And he goes, oh, you know me, I live at the gym. I was like, well, I really don't know you. And I wouldn't have assumed you live at the gym. He was wearing, and this is not a joke, I wish it were, a jock strap on his face as a mask.
No.
And a shirt with Winnie the Pooh. Only famous people should use that expression. Otherwise, if you say, oh, you know me, you better have something revealing to offer.
Yeah.
Oh, you know me. Embezzling from my job at the bank. Oh, you know me. Up late at night reading by the light of your bedroom window. Oh, you know me. Giving head for blow. Right, Chuck, remember? You guys have been great. Follow me on Instagram. You know me, Gini Sikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yay.
So funny. And Mike, normally we just book 2-3 comedians, but today the casting department just went overboard. I think we got extras. Coming up is Jacob Jonas in a bit, but first a friend of yours, and then prizes are coming up.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be quite the evening.
So hang tight, everybody. We got more comedy. One is our next guest, Mike, is a friend of yours. So they say. And he's made regular appearances on your Monday night show, and he's been a terrific guest here on the ApocaLips. And he is next, and he's going to debate whether or not he's really friends with Mike.
Yeah,
So,
Ned is.
welcome.
To say that Ned is from Ann Arbor, where they recently decided to disband their football team. So he's probably.
Oh, bring that up.
Right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome virtually the best of Michigan, Ned Rice.
Thank you. Thank you. How about another hand for our host, Chuck and Mike? That's enough.
Thank you.
Hey, wow, there's COVID-19 news. I was talking to a friend in LA, and there's a new variation, a new strain of COVID-19. It's a mutation. And this guy's telling me about it. And I could tell he was kind of psyched that they got the new one. It turned into that conversation you have with your friend who just bought a new iPhone. Yeah, we have the new COVID-19, or as I call it, COVID-19 Pro. And it's bigger and has more features than the old-fashioned COVID-19 that you people have in Nowhereville, wherever you live. It's more contagious and it's deadlier. And I'm like, should I trade up? How much more a month is it? Like, fuck you, asshole. So this is where we are now. We're boasting to people in other states about our pandemic. That's who we are, and that's what we do. So, good night, everybody. No, just got through the holidays, kind of a bittersweet time for me. As you probably know, it was Christmas Day 4 years ago. My favorite singer of all time, George Michael, died of a heart attack. George Michael died of a heart attack on Christmas Day. I mean, 1 minute he's making videos and singing, and then wham, he's dead, just like that. And what's weird is, the weird thing about George Michael dying of a heart attack on Christmas Day is last Christmas, he gave someone his heart. The very next day, they gave it away. How did we not see this coming? Like, clearly a victim, a cardiac illness candidate is what the guy was. I spent a lot of time this holiday with my mom. She's a blast. She's 94 years old. She's just so much fun. She's so young at heart. I just found out she's a cutter. And that's so weird at 94. I'm like, Mom, what is that cut on your arm? She goes, what are you doing? I go, right there next to your Zeppelin tattoo. Come on. What are you doing? Stop it with the cutting. The cutting all the time with the cutting. I'm just tired of it.
Cutting.
I've had it, but the thing about my mom is I noticed recently she's about a foot shorter than she was when I was growing up. Because when you get older, she's 94, and I realized, there's certain milestones in life, certain rites of passage. My mom's got maybe another 1.5 inches left, and then she'll be too short to go on roller coasters. Oh. So we're trying to make the most of the time we have left, and it's a special time. I also think of my dad a lot during the holidays. He's been gone for a while. My dad was such a good guy. He had kind of a unique brand of wisdom, you might say. I remember my dad said to me, Ned, never let another man tell you what to do. And I went, you mean like you just did? Or is this one of those conundrums, like everything I say is a lie? Or do you mean going forward? Or should we? He goes, Ned, why don't you get your old dad another beer? I said, well, because it's 9 o'clock in the morning and that's sort of weird. And Mom's crying. And oh, yeah, I miss Dad. I think about his wisdom all the time. But let's move on. I got to spend a lot of time with my girlfriend over the holidays. I got to meet her family. That was fun. My girlfriend is just a charming, lovely young woman, but she's like a serious street activist. Like goes to demonstrations and rallies, and she's a fighter. She's a, I remember we were at this one over the summer. You remember we were at this one, but she's, for all of her hardcore activism, she's still kind of girly. We went to a demonstration in Detroit, and this cop rolled up on us with the tear gas, and she goes, wait, can you just spray it in a cloud and I'll walk through it? Because you should never put a fragrance right on the skin. And so, does anybody know what I'm talking about? Anybody?
Yes.
Okay, no girly men, that's fine. That's what happened there. No, my girlfriend is absolutely perfect except for one thing. She's a perfectionist. If it wasn't for that, she'd be perfect. Another one of those thought things. Okay, that's fine. This time of year, I do a lot of charity work, not to brag or anything, but honestly, giving to the less fortunate is the most noble, selfless, godlike thing I can think of to use as a tax dodge, because you can just write off everything when you do this kind of shit. I did a thing today. I did a benefit for the hard of hearing, the hearing impaired. It was a silent auction, and it went very well. I thought it was very successful. And I was talking to some friends in the recovery community about a mutual friend of ours. A lot of these folks have been through hard times. Some of them have been in rehab, and some of them have been in prison. And we were talking about a mutual friend, and she says, whatever happened to Ryan? And somebody said, well, he's behind bars. He's upstate at Traverse City. And she said, that's my favorite prison. And I thought, you know what? If you have a favorite prison, you've made some mistakes along the way, and life has not been kind. So, and well, look at the time already. My time is up, and that's all I have to say to you, nice people. Thank you very much for listening, and of course, have a lovely, safe evening.
Woo!
Yeah.
Ned Rice.
I just dropped my mic.
Rice, ladies and
Not on
gentlemen.
purpose.
He's my favorite prison comic.
Oh shit!
A lot of guys can't get a laugh looking at you between their legs. And I like how Ned doesn't feel obligated to get a laugh with every joke.
No! To the contrary.
Don't just laugh with Ned, you learn. And that's the important thing.
It's mostly information.
Yeah, it's mostly information, and it's good to know.
It's stand-up trivia. That's what it is.
I think I figured out why you had trouble with your dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Alcoholic.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I know. Now I tell you.
Spoiler alert.
But frankly, I'm envious.
Really?
I'm envious because you have a great relationship with your family. You did have a great relationship with your dad. I've never had that. I'm a
Not you.
That was the mother of all cutting jokes.
I was a wasp growing up, and we didn't share emotions. We were not that way. I don't even like hugging my parents because they're dead. And I'll be honest with you. So anyway,
Kind of a bummer.
Chuck, we were going to move into another phase of the show, and
and then you brought up how difficult grave robbing is. You dig? Mike, I'm sorry. You said the thing, and then I thought of the thing, and when I think of these things, I can't not say them to you. Mike, we definitely one more comedian to join us, at least. Jacob Jonas is ahead, and then thought I'd take you downstairs. The gang from Graphics just wanted to extend yet another invitation for you to come downstairs to the third floor and visit the gang from Graphics.
I like the way that we've hired people down in the graphics department right after they've gotten out of Somali prison for hijacking tankers.
Well, it's a good program we have, and gang, if you've never been on our show, we're also sponsored by Amanides Pizzas. Amanides Pizzas delivered hot and fresh. And they loan us their boat, the Amanidi yacht, and we can take you sort of wherever we want to go, the dark side of the moon tonight. And those of you who are on starboard side, great view of the dark side of the moon. Those of you who are on the port side, beautiful view of the galaxy. And what we'll do is we'll tell you about a few of our upcoming shows, and then we'll get you some great gifts. If you've never been to our show, we'd like to give you gifts On Monday nights, speaking of gifts, Mike delivers the gift of comedy and is gracious hosting as he hosts Open Mic, a show for new comedians as well as professionals. Like Ned drops by and attempts to get a laugh every time he comes in. That's always fun.
Hey,
Monday nights, 8 o'clock. You can watch that show. You can check our collection of shows. It's on YouTube at youtube.com/Colorado Comedy Shows. Coming up next week is Next Time on the ApocaLips, where we'll feature things you'll never see on the ApocaLips. And then the week after that is the inaugural ApocaLips. And then a very special ApocaLips, which Mike, we're working on a headliner from London, a friend of yours. And then I've paired up a bunch of other of our friends to join us on a very special ApocaLips. And then January 31st, Service Industry New Year's Eve. If you know people who had to work on New Year's Eve, we've got a great show. We're redoing our New Year's Eve show. And we'll take you back to when Mike used Golden Globe to set up our New Year's Eve count, and we'll do our countdown on the 31st. We'll take you to Paris, we'll take you to Nuuk, Greenland, and to Brazil. Mike, his Golden Globe is hanging up on the Eiffel Tower, waiting to drop. Then here's Nuuk, Greenland. They opened an In-N-Out burger, and we'll hang the Golden Globe up in there. And then a couple of Golden Globes here, and we'll wait for those to drop on New Year's Eve. Monday, January 31st, the virtual New Year's Eve, reenacted. And there's a live cam. The balls are hanging in the air, waiting to drop on the 31st. Big balls. How big are they? This big. So that's coming up. Tell your friends, everybody. We've got very funny comedy shows on the way. And I want to thank the Marine Corps Band for playing Old Lang Syne for us, the United States Marine Corps Band. And thanks to our VIPs, including Stacy Sanders, who I believe is watching on the YouTube. Thank you, Stacy. Hope you enjoyed time with your family tonight. We got our VIPs terrific. We're sending you to Dollywood. You get to ride the Mystery Mine at Dollywood. Enjoy that. You virtually ride this. You don't really go there. You just sort of imagine being there. Those of you who purchase general admission tickets, try not to have all the fun that the VIPs are having on that roller coaster and Dollywood. And then, Mike, I'm sure you spent a lot of time here. Here's Rodeo Drive. So
Yes.
we'll send you
Oh my God.
for a little shopping trip up to Rodeo Drive.
It was, I don't know if you can see that little thing with the hat, and it's the second store up on the block. There's a yellow blouse and a hat thing.
Yes.
Yeah, the manager of that store molested me when I was a child.
Well, good to bring up, Mike.
It's really the center of the shopping universe. I think that's the subtext there.
Right. Well, I'm glad you were touched by this humor. We're also sending you to, I wanted to send you to a rooftop restaurant, but they seem to all be closed. So we got you a meal at this rooftop restaurant in Guadalajara. So enjoy that.
We're offering a $5 prize to anyone, additional prize, in addition to the fact that this is a prize, to anyone who can spot the person in this picture that believes gender is a spectrum.
Right. I think we know who that is. And we'll also get you a salad from Chef
We've made it too
Capone.
easy.
Right. There's Chef Mark Scapone. He's in charge of our virtual event center, and he kind of chases me with salads everywhere I go. So he's going to hook you up with a salad.
Eat more healthy and healthily, I should say.
As well. Our general admission ticket was popular here tonight, Mike, and several of our general admission customers took advantage of our buy one, share one. So feel free to enjoy these gifts, general admission people up there in the balcony. We got you this. We sent the VIPs to Dollywood, so I'm hooking the general admission people up. This is Canopy Lake Park.
How Dolly has been getting children out of Hamlin all these years.
Right. So if you've never been to Canopy Lake Park in Salem, New Hampshire, a town where I grew up, you can now imagine yourself going to Great Canopy Lake Park and enjoy yourself there. You get to ride this corkscrew virtually, so enjoy that. A big virtual ride. it's just like last year. You just keep going in circles and circles. You're upside down, you're right side up. It'll be like going through 2020 all over again. Got you some cotton candy. So your parents never really let you get some. So we got you cotton candy, and you can take it with you wherever you go. And fucking A.
You know, Mark.
Who doesn't love salad with their cotton candy? So we got you that as well. You have some cotton candy and salad. Enjoy your free virtual gift. Just
like salad.
A little bit of gratitude from us to you. And speaking of gratitude, Mike, we'll take a moment to remind folks that 10%, especially those watching on YouTube, in fact, talking about this on YouTube has led to donations right at elevatingconnections.org. Elevating Connections puts on programs for youth separated from their siblings by foster care. Here's what I'll tell you about upcoming donations is last month we donated about $800, and that's all going to be used for some food gift cards. So Elevating Connections also deals with some homeless youth who have food insecurity challenges. So previously, we recognized that some of these youth needed access to mobile devices, maybe help paying their phone bills so they could get online and check into work. Can't get free Wi-Fi anymore. It's hard to go to a coffee shop, the library, or anything like that. So we got the mobile access, and now Stacy's found out that some of the youth are food insecure. So we're getting them food, and that's what you did there.
Yes, it's true.
Your donation. And hey, on Saturdays we do a terrific show called Dear Comics at the Bar, and that's a fun show on Saturdays. You can watch on Instagram. We review beers, and
those were pictures of Chuck and
Stephen Young.
That was the week that they did the show before they were told you're supposed to wear the mask just over the nose and lower part of your face.
Right. So speaking of just over our nose and over the lower part of our face, our headliner's here.
What?
And that just didn't even make sense. But I was going to take whatever Mike said and roll it into your sweet introduction.
Sorry, so did somebody tell Lisa that there's a wolf threatening
Yeah,
to
he
kill
just
her?
kind of snapped at me too.
Right. So
It dawned at you, for that matter.
choose.
I think that's Ed Smith.
Choose what you'd like to watch, everybody. You can either watch our headliner or watch Lisa get devoured by a wolf. It's either, everything comes with your general admission ticket. And your headliner asked us to stretch for a moment, and we will.
I'm stretched a little bit himself just while we were introducing.
Right. Talk about a guy.
Base camp while you're waiting for an announcement.
Right. This is a kid whose career was like skyrocketing, right? We met him at Mega Mike. He'd do our show every week, and then off to New York he went. And would you play Gotham Comedy Club and a bunch of comedy clubs in New York? You got great tape out there on the YouTube. We're like, this kid's gonna be on the TV. He's nailing. He's gonna be touring, and then the world shut down.
Very disappointed in him.
If he doesn't.
Way to go, Josh.
If he doesn't, survive the pandemic and then conquer on television, he fucked up because he's really got it going on. He's talented. He should make you laugh. We hope. That's the goal.
Joshua Emerson isn't funny. I mean, Jacob.
Right.
I don't know who is.
Would you please welcome Jacob Jonas, ladies and gentlemen?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for that lovely intro, Chuck. My alternate universe version of me is enjoying my Netflix special and the SM everything.
You're killing it in the other universe.
Yeah. Also, my name isn't Joshua Emerson. I had my friend use my Zoom account, and I can't fucking understand how to fix it. I feel like a boomer. Like I feel like,
a boomer.
Honestly, I don't know why the fuck I can't change
all the
it.
boomers on this call have the right names.
Yeah, I like how Chuck gave me this
like
fantastic introduction, and my name is Joshua Emerson. So that's.
I just changed your name. I'm an old man.
Oh, thank you so much. Honestly, that's great. Thank you.
Okay, boomer. Thanks.
Thank you, everybody. Good night. That's been my time.
That's funny shit.
No, that is funny.
More embarrassing than funny, really, when you think about it. No,
thanks,
anyway,
thanks a lot, Mike. Thanks
What's
for
the
that
difference,
intro.
really, Mike?
No, you've probably got some jokes you want to do at this point.
Yeah, I do have some jokes, guys. For those of you who don't know, my name is Jacob. I'm Jewish, born Jewish. I had my bar mitzvah about 10 years ago. They played the clean version of Get Low at my bar mitzvah. I still think about that. Here's the fucked up thing. They switched the song right as it started to get explicit. All my friends and I, we were vibing. Okay, everyone. We were just like, to the window, to the wall, to the wall, to the sweat drops down my Havana, Gila, Havana. They switched, and it fucked with everyone's vibe because, we were all on coke. So it was
young people talk.
They switched this banger and it fucked everything up. But
That's not kosher.
not kosher. Not, oh my
Jacob,
god!
seriously, I'm really, really sorry. Well, I'm stopping right now. You were doing
Go
a
for
great job. I'm fucking you up. Ned is taking his bad advice from me, and I fucked you up. So please, no more.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine. You're fine. Speaking of being Jewish, I mean, obviously everybody knows it's very difficult to convert to Judaism. If somebody wants to become a Jew, you have to meet with a rabbi on 3 separate occasions, which I'm assuming is just the rabbi going, "Are you sure?" That's that. That's the whole Megillah, as my dad would say. I hope you guys had a great 2020 years. I hope you guys did the whole ball drop and everything. I had fun. One of my friends actually talked to me a couple days before New Year's, and he was like, "Hey buddy, what's your plans? What are you doing on New Year's?" And to that I responded, coke, just cocaine. I don't. He was like, "That's all?" I was like, "Yep." It was very fun. I did some coke with some friends. Here's the thing. Listen, I don't even know if this is funny. I'm going to try this out. The thing with coke is that cocaine is such an atrocious drug. It's so destructive. Like it destroys the environment. It destroys lives. It destroys entire political systems, like in Mexico. I mean, the physical damage it does on your body, the mental damage. The only good thing about coke is the way it makes you feel. And holy shit, man, does it make you feel good. Makes you feel, I can throw everything else by the wayside. Just give me that line. It's pretty interesting. I've been doing some research on coke. I don't know if you guys know, there's a man named Carl Kohler, and he was a psychiatrist in the 1890s. He was actually the assistant to Sigmund Freud. And he was the first person to ever inject cocaine directly into his eye for surgery. And you can't tell me that he wasn't already on coke when he had that idea. It totally sounds like a cocaine idea. Like he had to have at least a couple bumps and just be like, "Woo, man, I just want to put this shit in my fucking eyes," Definitely. Like, can you imagine being Sigmund Freud and having your assistant come up to you and just being like, "Dude, I have this fucking amazing business idea. Okay? It's a fucking incredible idea. Okay, we just put this shit into people's eyes and we make millions of dollars." I don't know. I think that probably happened. Also, another he's actually a fictional character, but Sherlock Holmes in the original Sherlock Holmes stories, Sherlock Holmes would actually inject cocaine when he was bored and he didn't have any mysteries to solve. There's actually a book called 7% Solution, which is in reference to the solution that he invented when he was just, he had some free time. And because as we all know, if you don't have any mysteries to solve and you start doing cocaine, you'll find a mystery. You'll definitely. I mean, the first mystery is going to be like, "Hey, where the fuck did all my cocaine go?" And like, second
and my money.
Like, "Hey, why are people looking at me through the windows?" Third mystery is going to be like, "Why can't I get my dick hard?" It's a real issue. The thing I like about doing coke, I have like 8 minutes on coke, so I don't give a shit what any of you think. The thing about coke, the thing I like about it is that it's so close to smoking crack. that's the real high that I get, is that it's the adrenaline of being so close to being a crack addict. In all honesty, I would probably smoke crack if it had a different name. You know, the name is just kind of intense. I don't really like it's kind of, you know, like people kind of look down on it, but like shit, like if smoking crack was called like vaping a zippy or something, I'd do it. I would vape a zippy every single day of my life. I'd probably, you know, I'd steal my neighbor's TV to vape a zippy. I don't give a shit. It's just about the name. Oh man, what else do I got? Ned was talking about how his mom is into cutting now, which is very cool. She's participating in the culture of the youth. My mom also participating in the culture of the youth. My mom started dabbing hash oil recently, which is pretty interesting. I didn't even know that my mom did that, but I went home for the holidays and I went to go steal weed from my mom, as you do, you know, over Christmas break. And she had a whole hash rig and like she had a blowtorch and everything. And I was like, holy shit, like my mom is doing what I was doing in high school. This is crazy. And I went downstairs and she was on TikTok and she had a Base Nectar hat on. Shit, you know, my mom's fucking dope. I don't know. A couple months ago, during the pandemic, I broke up with my ex-girlfriend. I broke up with my ex-girlfriend actually on a road trip, which is probably the worst time that you can break up with a girlfriend. I'll tell you that much. Probably in the top 5 for sure. Here's the thing. We broke up maybe, I don't know, 6 hours into the road trip, and we had 36 hours left together, which was not that fun. It was kind of like quitting a shitty job at the beginning of your shift. Here's the thing about it. We had a huge argument when we were in the car, and we got the most toxic like complaints out to each other at the beginning of the road trip, which in retrospect we should not have done, because she was like, fuck you, you're a piece of shit, you don't care about me, you're two-faced. And I was just like, save this for the last 10 minutes, please. Like when we're in Denver, then you can really kind of tell me off. But now, you know, we just got to be together for the next 36 hours. So weird pit stops, really weird times at gas stations, I'll tell you that much. This is actually, it's the same girlfriend that there was a couple months after we started dating. We were laying in bed together one day and she turned to me and she said, hey, I don't think that you've ever made me come. Which kind of, listen, hurts a little bit. But here's the thing that really hurt was that we weren't fighting before that. Like we weren't arguing. So I knew that she wasn't saying that to hurt me. Like, it's kind of like she was saying it to inform me. It was, it was like she was reading it off the back of a Snapple lid. It was very monotone. She was like, oh, look at this. We've had sex for 4,000 seconds and not one of them have I been happy. So that was fun. I don't know. What else do I got? I found out, speaking of relationships and sex, I found out that as far as the fellas go, as far as the males go, if you're a male and you're having sex with somebody, you're using their body as a costume for your penis, which is kind of a weird way to think about it. But it's kind of cool because like my dick wore my roommate's sweater as a costume last night. So that was pretty cool. I was on TikTok the other day and I saw there's this vegan activist who she's like very militantly vegan and she's very pro animal rights and everything, and she was outlining what it takes to get a turkey on your family's dinner table for Thanksgiving, and like the inhumane conditions that turkeys go through. And she was on this rant and she was like, it's so incredibly messed up that male turkeys are separated from female turkeys and male turkeys are masturbated with a machine, and humans have to take a tube and suck out personally the semen that comes out of the turkey's penis, and it goes into a bucket. And I was like, well, first of all, that doesn't really meet my definition of animal cruelty. I mean, there's a lot of better examples. Second of all, you have no idea what that turkey's into. I mean, that turkey could be a fucking freak. Like that turkey could be just absolutely invigorated by that idea. It's not fair that you would judge him before you knew what his preferences were. So that's kind of, you know, that's on her for sure. Other than that, I think that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much. You've been fantastic. I love you all. You are great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacob Jonas, ladies
Don't
and
kink shame that
gentlemen.
turkey.
Hey, for those of you kids that are just starting out in comedy, always close with your masturbating turkey material. Working a bit about how humans have to suck on the tube. That's going to make you some friends out in the audience. Just thought I'd give you all a little tip. Just, I mean, I try to help the kids on the way up. That's
Right. You're so giving, Mike.
I am. I'm such a giving man. And she was trying to start a fight. Just in case anybody's curious.
Well, how about one more time for Jacob Jonas?
Yeah.
Would you all please?
Nice.
If a
Fucking
woman tells you while you're in bed that you've never made her come, I don't care what was going on before. She's trying to start a fight. Just
I'm just disappointed, Jacob. I thought we've taught you better than that. Come on.
Listen, she taught me better. Now I know.
And what she means by that is
Right.
you're not supposed to tell us stuff that you and Lisa were talking about in bed.
Yeah. What kind of home repair did she hire you for?
When you respond to that comment, call her some other woman's name.
We had a lot of fun with the comedians who are still having fun. So if you could give them all a nice round of applause.
Can you please fix my gutters, Mr. Jonas?
Right. There's still just a little bit more fun to be had. If you've never been to the ApocaLips gang, we want to thank you for helping us donate to Elevating Connections. Coming up, Mike leads us in a little bit of a sing-along. He doesn't know the words of the tune, so hang out for that. And we'll give you one more prize. Got you a little bit of comedy gold, so feel free to take this with you. Many of you left some. Ned and Jacob and Lisa and Ginny.
I always try to distribute a few nuggets of wisdom myself.
And Oog, all of you just dropped nuggets of comedy everywhere. So thank you. And for those of you who are new to us, feel free to enjoy your comedy gold. And fucking hey, might as well have a salad with it, right? So enjoy a little bit of salad to go, I assume. And we'll walk you out to our exits. And outside the comedy club, it gets a little dicey just outside the ApocaLips. The neighborhood's really gone downhill. Stay with the group, and we'll get you over to your car. And feel free to purchase any of the goods and services along the way in the back alley.
You realize that means there's a Liberty Book 1?
Right, yeah, Curtis, you're welcome. Thank you for commenting. Yeah. And looks like my ride's here. So what we know about this is when we see the guy in gold, it's time to say goodbye to the YouTube audience. They didn't buy a ticket, so they don't get to hang out for the sing-along. So thank you, YouTube. We'll see you next week. And for those of you in our live audience, here's how our sing-alongs go. Real simple, you just sing along. Mike will lead us in song. He doesn't know the tune or the words, and we'll just follow his bouncing golden globe. I think we're ready. So Mike, we'll do it a Lawrence Welk style. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear friends.
You stay to the end.
This show was special. This show super special because of you. Mike did a good job.
Good job.
Manage the clock real well. Better than our local football team.
Sorry, team kicks the ball and wears the other.
By the way,
Gladys said you were polite.
She's dropped her
This
prices.
is the
$10,000.
Totally
the best crowd ever possible.
Please come back soon.
Shadoobie wop wop.
Your part.
Shadoobie wop wop.
Ah, great job, everybody.
ApocaLips Comedy Show.
Oh, listen to that.
Nice.
Well done,
Nailed it.
everybody. Thank you, audience. We appreciate you being here.
Jonas, outstanding.
Jacob, very funny.
Thank you.
Gini Sikes, Lisa Lane,
Ned
Ned
Rice.
Rice.
Yep.
We'll
Lisa
leave it
Lane.
in there.
We had Lisa Lane at the start. That was, I think we got everybody.
Lane, Ginny.
Chris, thanks for joining us. I'm glad you were able to purchase a ticket and get right into the showroom. That felt
Thank you.
great.
Yeah, tell all your friends, come back, send them into the show. We're funnier every week than we were the week before. I know that's hard to believe. We're bumping against the asymptote for those of you who are math majors. I wanted to thank Oog, son of Og, for showing up. He's
KJK, thank you for taking advantage of the guest ticket. Chris, next time, if you join us again, you're welcome to share the code with one person. You can have as many folks at your spot, and they can have as many folks at their spot. It's just a great way to hopefully connect you with friends and get to see a silly little comedy show.
Great, thank you.
You get the prizes, they don't.
Okay.
Thanks for where are you from, Chris?
I am from the East Coast, Massachusetts.
Okay.
I'm about probably 40 miles south of Canopy Lake Park.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so you knew where I grew up, and the top of the hub was the restaurant I was thinking of.
Yep, at the Peru. I used to work just below it.
Oh, okay, the Prudential.
Yep.
Oh, neat. Okay, folks, Boston's skyline has just a super dominant building, the Prudential building, and an old school restaurant at the top of the hub. And I was looking around for photos of it and didn't find anything that I could use that was publicly available. But that's where I wanted to send folks. And neat that you were from that neighborhood. What town, Chris? I used to play all over New England.
Just outside Boston.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I played the Comedy Connection and Nick's Comedy Stop in Boston, and then up Route 1 of Sawdust.
Right.
Giggles and
I miss live comedy. I'm glad we have this as a plan B.
Yeah, man.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we're lucky to have you join us because we miss live audiences, and glad this is Plan B's working.
That's what she said.
We call it something besides Plan B. Just a favor to me.
Let's call it Plan C.
Awesome.
I appreciate that. That's really funny. Ned put a couple of really funny jokes. By the way, you can save these chats, which are hilarious. If you hit the ellipsis that's at the bottom of your chat thing, it'll give you a save chat option, and hit that. You'll save the chat, and it'll be on your desktop when you sign on to the meeting. So there's some pretty funny stuff in there. Anyway, I thought you guys were all great tonight. Appreciate it.
Yep, good show. I'm gonna.
You really rolled. You really rolled with all of our interruptions. You're awesome.
I'm gonna wrap up the meeting. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thanks, Chuck.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chuck.
You're welcome.
See you guys.
Good,
See you
Lisa.
next time.
Jenny.
Great show, everybody.
Everybody. Good night.
Ned.